Hello friends, welcome back to Sunshine and Chaos Budgeting. I'm bringing you along for another cook video. I'm enjoying doing them. I hope you are too. Today I'm going to be making some homemade flatbread to go with our breakfast. You know, tight budget, so we're working with what we've got. Let's see what we can do this morning. I have some breakfast ham, some eggs, and I'm going to make flatbread to go with it. So I'm getting my butter out, so I have that for later. And I have all-purpose flour. I have a cup of Greek yogurt, whole fat, whole milk, whatever yogurt. I have my baking powder, yes, and some salt if I need that. I got to remember everything that's going on in it. So the first thing I'm going to do, it calls for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. That doesn't seem like a lot. Usually I do 2 cups, so I might just do my 2 cups and add a little milk to go with it, or water, and thin it some way if I need to, just so that I get a little bit more flatbread for Bobby and I. How are y'all doing today? We are doing well. We're doing well. There's one. It's kind of heaping, so I'll do a little less on the next one. But we're doing well, y'all. These are just ways that I have in the past, and I'm doing again to save money, making a lot of bread products and things at home from the flour and things I had in the freezer and in my pantry, so that I can save money that way. I didn't sift this. I should have probably, but we're going to go with it. And it needs 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to make them a little heaping. I thought using the yogurt was a way you got away from using the baking powder, but I don't know. This is a different recipe. This recipe, excuse me, comes from that 1870s homestead. So this is her recipe. It's the first time I've used it, so we're going to see how it goes. Oh, it says a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Ooh, glad I looked back at that. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, y'all. It doesn't call for lard. It just calls for the yogurt. And it says 3/4 cup up to a cup. I'm going to go ahead and add a cup because I'm adding 2 cups of flour. I'm going to give this a, I did add my salt, didn't I? Okay, I added all my dry ingredients. Just going to give this a mix. And I'm going to grab my pastry blender. So I have flour, salt, and baking powder, and now I'm adding my yogurt. I'd have liked my yogurt to be warmer. It's cool, but she didn't say, or it doesn't say in the recipe to let it be room temperature or anything, so I'm just going to go with it. Flatbreads and things are a way to stretch out your meals, that's for sure. So I'm going to get this all worked in, and then I'll work it with my hands and do some kneading. She does cook it, I guess, with butter, so I'm going to do the same thing. I hate wasting my butter, but I'm going to do it because it does make it soft. So what you all having for breakfast this morning? With Chaos home, I'm cooking a lot more because of the hours he had before. I packed him lunches and he was off to work, and we had one meal together a day. So now I'm making more food, and I'm also having to cook a lot of things that I took for granted by being able to buy at the shop from home. This is going to need a little water in it. I can tell already. So I'm going to take the yogurt cup and add just a little bit of water to this yogurt. To make it, I use up some of the yogurt in here. And get this mixed in, because I don't want them too tight. I've made these enough times now that I kind of know the dough a little bit anyway, of what I want. It's kind of like biscuit dough though, you don't want to work it too much. So let me add just a little bit of water over here and get it into that and move it into it. And squeeze it into there. What a mess, y'all. But do you have anything you're making for dinner or any favorite breakfast or anything? I did just put up a video on making breakfast fajitas. With those, we actually had steak one night with a few homemade potatoes that I had, French fries, and we tried some butternut squash that came out of the garden, but unfortunately it was too young and we got something in it and it caused it to die. But we tried to eat it anyway just to see if we could use it up. But it was kind of good, but it just lacked flavor because it didn't get a chance to, you know, grow. I'm washing my hands, y'all. Give me just a second. But yeah, the butternut squash was kind of, you know, it kind of lacked a lot of flavor, and it wasn't real big. It was doing beautiful, and then a boar got in it, and a vine boar, and took the plant down. We did get a couple beautiful tomatoes, and we've gotten some cherry tomatoes, which were really nice. I'm just gonna put this on here and knead it just for a minute while I'm getting everything together. I'm going to probably just divide this into like even balls. And I want to treat it kind of like a biscuit dough. I don't want to go too crazy working on it. And let's get something to cut this with. I do have pastry cutter somewhere. Some of this stuff is, yeah, I'm sorry to walk away from the camera. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm having to go find it. I know where it's at, but I just didn't pull it out and didn't think about it. Okay, so I'm just going to make I'm hoping it's worked enough. I'll just do this to it. I'm going to let it rest a minute. These ones are way big. So probably put that over there. Like I tell y'all, I'm not a professional. I'm just keeping us fed, and I love to cook. I don't mind trying new recipes and trying my hand at anything. I hope these turn out good. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. Good. Get some extra flour. I thought I put enough down, but I'm going to have more. This is a new recipe. I have wanted to use up the rest of my yogurt. So that's what we did. Alright, we're going to set these aside. I should get something to cover them with, y'all. I hope you don't mind just me talking in the background as I'm putting it all together. I'm not trying to take up too much of your time. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. I should have kept the bowl like I did last time to cover these up in, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm just going to put something over them to kind of keep them from drying out too much while I'm working each dough. My griddle is on, and it's nice and warm. So I'll be able to, I'm going to bring you over to the griddle when I get ready to do these, so you can see me frying them after we roll them out, okay? What I'll probably do is roll a couple out and get you over to the griddle and let you see how they're going, and then that way, I don't know, do you want to stick around to see how many I got, or I could fast forward some music? The dough is really soft, really pliable from that yogurt, so I don't want to add too much into it. I don't want to burn flour on my griddle and give the bread like an after flavor. So I'm going to take some of that off there, and I need to grab my rolling pin, y'all. Okay, so put a little butter, flour, butter on that. Flatbreads don't have to be round. They can be any odd shape you want them to be. Some people make them pretty round and they look really nice. I'm not guaranteeing y'all that. I'm just going to get them made. And I think they go pretty thin, so we'll try one thin and see how it goes. And see if that's thick enough. Get some of the excess flour off. And I think they need to be a little bit longer. I got a loose fly in the house this morning. Alright, we're going to see how this goes. We'll get one on the griddle and see if it bubbles up nice. We'll do one over here again, and then we'll move you to the griddle so you can see the griddle as I'm working. But I did put that breakfast fajita one up, and what I was going to say, if I didn't finish that thought, is we had steaks one night with it, and then we had so much meat, because I like steak, but you can get too much steak. And so I barely ate any of mine. Bobby did really good on his, but I took my steak and made us breakfast the next day, so that ended up making 4 meals, 2 each. And there's still some steak in there. So that was pretty cool. And these steaks do price out. They show you how much they would cost if you bought them. Like, because they do have a market where you can go and buy stuff right off the shelf, like out of the freezer, or fresh. And these steaks were priced at like $35 or $39 for ribeyes. So they weren't cheap. Alright, so the next one's going on. And then I'm going to bring you over to the griddle. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Oh, there we go. We'll go right here. How about right there? So you can kind of see how they bubble up. See how they're bubbling? I need to get a spatula, y'all. Let me get some butter. They're doing pretty good, but they need butter on them to soften them, to keep them soft. What I normally do is this. I have salted butter today because I want to put some in my butter bell. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you. But you have to use salted butter or they mold. The butter will mold. Salt keeps it from molding. Once I flip them, I'll put a little butter on each side. And go like that and put it in the butter. Do that. So these are a smaller flatbread, but they'll be all right. Let me go ahead and continue rolling these out, okay? Oh, that stuck to my rolling pin, y'all. Back to add flour. I'll probably, instead of talking, add music, y'all. Okay, I have a tortilla thing right here. And I'm just going to put my flatbread in that, okay? If that's what I'm doing. Let me see if I can bring you... Oops, that's too far close. It's looking really yummy. So I'm going to pull the ones that are looking done, because I don't want them to get too dark. And they're just going in my little tortilla thing over there. I'll put that on there. That's not ready. Alright, and so we're just going to move it over. I have all of my heat on low, about a 2 on my stove griddle. And they smell really good. And I'm going to, afterward, I'm just going to make the whole breakfast and show you what we're having today. I hope you'll come along for it. And I'm going to make some ham sticks that came out of our haul. And with the Bobby wants scrambled eggs, I'll probably have over easy eggs like I've been having. And go from there. What I don't use in my ham, I'm going to make a soup. I know it's not soup season, but it's going to have to be soup season. Okay, y'all, Bobby was helping me clean up, which was really nice. And sometimes he does that. I got the bread done, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put the ham on. Hoping Lolly don't knock over the camera, y'all. This is 2 big breakfast ham steaks. So what I plan on doing is go ahead and cooking one, and then I'm just going to cut it in pieces because there's no way that Bobby and I can eat. Let's just look. This is one of them. That's one whole steak. This will feed a whole family of like probably 4 or 5, depending on if it's little kids or not. So that's way too much ham for us. So what I'm going to do is, whoops, sorry for the bump of the camera, is I'm going to take one of the hams after it's cooked and cut it into pieces and add it to some beans and make a bean soup with it. They're beautiful ham steaks, and I don't want them to go to waste, but Bobby and I can have a whole one and split it because they are so thick and so much that there's no way we're going to eat that much ham. I can make fried rice if I had rice. I don't have rice right now, but maybe later I will. So I'm going to just let these cook a few minutes and brown and get kind of golden on each side. And we'll go from there. And I'm going to just make us a couple eggs each to go with our ham steak and our homemade naan bread, or flatbread, however you want to call it. And that will be breakfast. It'll be a hearty breakfast, and normally we don't eat again until dinner because this is so much food. And like I said, I'm going to take this ham, whatever's left from what we don't eat for breakfast, and it's going in a soup pot. And then I'll have the naan bread to go with it, and I'll probably do, I have some canned goods that I canned a long time ago. I got pinto beans, and that's just what I'm going to use with some onion and celery, garlic, and some seasoning. And maybe look up a couple recipes on YouTube because I love doing that. Get ideas and go off of what I know and the ideas and make something out of it. So I'm going to let these cook until they're warm through. Yeah, they're going to be a minute. They're big. Look how big they are. They're like probably an inch. So let's turn them up a little too. Just to get some heat under them. And then we're going to have these eggs the way Bobby likes his, is scrambled, and I'm going to have mine sunny side up, and we're going to have the naan. And I'm super excited for that. I wanted to show you too real quick how pliable or soft this bread is. I've got it in my tortilla thing, but look at this. It's really nice. I didn't work it too much, which is a blessing. And this will last. I will put it in the refrigerator in a baggie or wrap it because I'm maybe out of it. Excuse me, baggies. Got a cough, y'all, the heat. But I got them in here for now, and I might even put saran wrap around this just to keep them, some of the moisture in so they don't dry out. If they do dry out, I just put them back over my griddle and they soften back up. But this will get, there was 7 that was done and total because some are smaller, obviously. But look how big that one is. It's a nice breakfast one. These make great sandwiches too. So if you're running out of ingredients, but you happen to have, you don't have to use yogurt. Look for one that doesn't have yogurt in it, and you can make it without the yogurt. I normally do, but I think the yogurt does make them softer. I do like that with the baking powder and everything. You just see how they bubbled on the griddle, and then putting butter on them gives them lots of flavor. That's why they will be refrigerated, because there is butter on them, and I don't want them going bad. And I'm still cooking my hams over here, but I thought I'd move you and show that to you, how they turned out. And for that batch, I did 2 cups of flour instead of 1.5, and it was all purpose. I added my baking powder, salt, the yogurt, which was about 1 cup, plus a little bit more because I went from 1.5 cups of flour to 2 cups. So I had to add it until it got sticky enough that I could work with it, and then work just enough dough into it to make it not stick so I could roll them out after I divided them into their balls. I also didn't do a raise on them. I didn't let them rise or rest. I just went right into rolling and working them, and they turned out beautifully, and I'm super excited for that. So that'll be part of our breakfast this morning. I could give you a little bit of a tour of our home if you'd like, right here in the kitchen. Give me just a second. It's not going to be a crazy great tour, but I'll give you a little tour of where we eat at. In case you're wondering, we did do some changes around here. So if you've seen videos prior to me starting my channel on the side of doing the budgeting, it's a little different in my kitchen, but I'll take this off the camera, the thing, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour of my kitchen. Okay, that's my stove area. Let me see if I can pull back a little bit. That's up. I always get that mixed up. So that's my stove area, y'all. And this is my back door to the garden area. It's not perfect in here, but this is what my kitchen looks like. There's all my cast iron and where Lolly's food is. My big refrigerator. So this is a backup view. And what we did, I'm going to turn myself around, try to do it kind of slow, is we put our pantry, see that dark area back there? That's now our pantry, and this is our dining area. That is what we changed in here, and I love it. I love being in the center of the kitchen to eat. It just feels more comfortable. But anyway, that's an overview of the kitchen, what it looks like now. Oh, let me go this way. That's where my flowers and everything are. And we have a half door that keeps our animals out, and this is my sink area. Sorry if it's blurry. And that goes all the way up. And that was my refrigerator, and I got all my cast iron over there, and that brings you back around. There's Lolly. And that's my stove area. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this, put you back on the thing, and we'll go back to cooking. Okay, y'all, this is the ham steaks done. I'm gonna split one between Bobby and I. It's way too much food. I'm not even gonna eat a half. I know I won't. But they look really good. I've got a couple eggs over easy each, and we're gonna have our bread with it. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? Okay, y'all, that's it for today. God bless you. I'll see you on the next video. Let's talk in the comments. Bye-bye.
Bye.